Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about Saturday night's main event. First of all, in my prediction show, I pretty much got everything wrong. So do not come to this show to hear my predictions because, like usual, I get them wrong, and WWE does something totally different. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to win. Wrong. I thought Rusev was going to win. Wrong. I thought there was going to be more of a surprise sort of finish chaotic thing to CM Punk versus Jey Uso. CM Punk just ends up winning clean. Wrong. The only one I got right was Jade Cargill, and that was the easiest one to predict, so thank God I got that one right. But Saturday night's main event was a decent show, nothing to write home about, not going to be the greatest show in the history of WWE, not really something that people are going to talk about moving forward. What they are going to talk about is the fact that this was the birthplace of the John Cena tournament. That will the winner will face John Cena in his very last match. You have a 16-man tournament. It's going to be great. You're going to have superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and they even said people that aren't even signed to WWE. So that could mean Matt Cardona, which would be really cool for him to face John Cena. That could mean a return of Y2J, Chris Jericho, and a really long shot, which will never happen, which could be the return of Edge to WWE from AEW, which won't happen because if Edge is to win the tournament, he's going to have to wrestle 3 or 4 times, which definitely won't happen because AEW won't let him be shipped over to WWE to basically be used for more views and more publicity and more exposure and all that stuff, because already right now you have a bunch of ex-AEW guys who are champions in WWE. CM Punk, Jade Cargill, Ricky Sanks, Ethan Page, Blake Monroe, Cody Rhodes, all former AEW guys. Of course, you know that Cody Rhodes and CM Punk became superstars because of WWE, but then they went to AEW, all those other people went to AEW, and now they're all champions in WWE. So if you look up Fumbled, in the dictionary, it probably is a picture of those 4 cats who are now leading the charge for WWE. Again, Ricky Saints, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Jade Cargill, all that stuff. But we're going to see a really, really, really cool tournament for John Cena. The Last Time Is Right Now tournament. Who will face John Cena in his very last match. So again, you're going to see some surprises, some new people, some old NXT, Raw, SmackDown, Matt Cardona, Y2J, all these types of things are going to happen for this tournament, all leading up to Gunther winning the tournament and Gunther facing John Cena at Saturday night's main event on December 13th for John Cena's very last match. And then you'll know that Gunther retired Goldberg and John Cena in the calendar year, and then he will go on to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42 to cement himself as the new beast of WWE and Gunther. So that's the most exciting thing that came out of Saturday night's main event. We also saw a new champ in Jade Cargill. She really cemented her sort of heel turn. She just destroyed Tiffany Stratton. She became the new WWE Women's Champion, and all now signs are pointing to Jade and Bianca, and their journey begins now. Jade as the heel, Bianca as the babyface. And we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong about Jade Cargill. Maybe she is a beast. Maybe she's a great heel. Maybe she can carry the championship. I didn't think she could. She hasn't put together a good match yet in WWE. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the heel turn is what she needed to solidify herself as a dominant character and have a really good feud with Bianca Belair. And then we saw Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre wrestle. Nothing really special there outside of the fact that Cody Rhodes sort of used the exact same moves and tactics to beat Drew McIntyre that he did Kevin Owens. Again, people think hinting at a heel turn, but what a babyface does is a babyface does anything possible to keep their championship. We look at all superheroes in the whole world, and a bunch of superheroes have done a little bit bad stuff to make sure that the worst guy doesn't take over the world or destroy the world. And that's what most babyfaces see when they're facing a heel. They think the heel is the worst thing, and if they have the championship or if they have the power, everything is going to go to shit. So they have to do everything they possibly can to keep the title, to keep it in their hands because they view themselves as the good guy. The villain also views himself as the good guy. That's sort of the tug of war that happens. And so Cody Rhodes uses quote-unquote heel tactics to keep his championship, but he feels like he's facing a greater evil, whether that be Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre. Now, I don't mind a babyface using anything they can, especially if it was brought to the ring by the heel. I just don't need the same finish over and over again with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and then Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. I thought Randy Orton might show up, but I think we're going to see another match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre that happens at Survivor Series, and then this is probably where Randy Orton shows up, because Survivor Series is the Randy Orton show, and then we'll see some sort of maybe screwy finish that Randy Orton turns here on him or accidentally leads to Cody Rhodes losing the strap, and then Drew McIntyre has the strap, hopefully, because I would just want to see Drew McIntyre as WWE Champion versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So that's cool. And then you saw Dominic Mysterio retain his championship, which I didn't really want to happen. I wanted Rusev to win the Intercontinental Championship and go on like a historic sort of Gunther-type dominant run, which would have been awesome, because I love what's been happening with Rusev and how dominant and great he's been in the ring because of I think because of the chops and the experience he got in AEW and working with many different types of people who aren't as good as most of the wrestlers in WWE, just because they don't have the training, the background, all that type of stuff. Not to say that AEW wrestlers aren't great, but there is not an NXT for AEW, and that sometimes shows in their lack of execution in their moves. But anyways, Rusev got to work with all those great people and those wrestlers there, and it showed. Now he's honed his skills, and he's one of the best on the roster right now, and I think he should be Intercontinental Champion and just have that title, similar to what Ilya Dragunov is doing and what they're doing with the United States Championship on SmackDown, like an open challenge every week, where those mid-card, quote-unquote mid-card titles are the titles where you just have banger fucking matches every single week, and you don't know who's going to come out, you don't know who's going to win the title, you don't know who's going to win, all these types of things could happen, and I think Rusev could potentially do that for the Intercontinental Championship on Raw and have that really nice historic long reign like Gunther. Maybe it won't be 600 days, but it could be 300, could be 400, and he could have a lot of really, really, really good matches with great people and make that a focal point of Raw, because Dominic Mysterio hasn't really done anything, but he retains the title, and it is what it is. And then you go into sort of the last match, the main event, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Fine match. I'm not really a huge fan of both guys in terms of their wrestling ability. I think they're great sports entertainers, even though CM Punk would call himself a professional wrestler. He is a sports entertainer. Jey Uso is the definition of a sports entertainer. They do the same moves over and over again, which I have no problem with, but sometimes they get overused and there's a lot of kickouts and all this type of stuff, and I just don't get excited about watching Jey Uso or CM Punk wrestle like I get excited about watching John Cena or AJ Styles wrestle or Rusev wrestle, right? Or even Cody Rhodes wrestle, or even Drew McIntyre wrestle. And that's no fault against those guys. It's just, whatever. It is what it is. But they're still main event players, and they put on a decent main event level match. I thought there was going to be more involvement. I thought there was going to be surprises. I thought we were going to see Jimmy Uso out there and LA Knight out there and Braun Breaker out there and Brunson Reed out there. I thought this was going to be that type of sort of screwy type of thing. Things were going to happen. There was going to move in different directions. And I thought the show was going to end still with a vacant World Heavyweight Championship. But it did not. They just went straight to the finish. CM Punk gets crowned the new World Heavyweight Champion, and sort of his crowning achievement. He's not champion for 5 minutes. There's no Seth Rollins coming out there to steal the strap away from him with a Money in the Bank briefcase. This is CM Punk's championship now, and I think he will hold it all the way until WrestleMania, where he loses it to Braun Breaker or to LA Knight. That is my prediction. Congratulations to CM Punk. You came back to WWE for a reason. You were champion for 4 or 5 minutes, but now you're going to be champion for a very long time. You're a 7-time world champion, and you now have the potential to main event WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion, which is very cool. I appreciate people following their dreams and living out their dreams. I think that's the most amazing thing that can happen, regardless of my personal feelings on CM Punk. So overall, I think Saturday night's main event was a decent show. But we got some cool things now moving forward that change and alter storylines towards Survivor Series, towards War Games, towards Royal Rumble, and towards WrestleMania 42. But mostly I'm looking forward to this 16-man John Cena tournament, which I think Gunther is going to win. And I'd love to know what your thoughts are. So leave them in the comments down below. And then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.